You mentioned a lot of, let's say, restrictions, minimizations, and these don't appear to be so positive. In fact, we might even get a little discouraged after hearing all these things. So, what do you recommend, in a practical way, so we can follow a regimen that's good for our health?
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned like that, because the book I wrote, which is based on 1400 medical studies, is called Dr. Jacob's Way of Enjoyful Renunciation.
That would be nice.
So it is indeed the principle that we have to find another higher taste. We need to exchange milk products and sugar with other foods that taste somewhat good, and it will take you some time to find these foods, but you will fortunately lose some weight in that time while you're still looking for foods that are tasting good. And it's certainly a change in the way how you eat and how you cook. But it is also really like a culinary adventure, because everybody will discover so many new vegetables and legumes and spices and things that are out there, and will enrich the variety of your eating, which is in itself very healthy.
Yeah, I noticed when I reduced my salt, I began to taste the vegetables for the first time.
Yeah, and you add a lot more spices and herbs and so on. And my wife wrote a cookbook which is very successful now, and she's cooking so well in that restricted way that I have a hard time not to gain weight, actually. Because you can even gain weight at my age of 45 by eating really healthily. So I think it's possible, very well possible, but it's a change. And first find those things with what you exchange the stuff you're eating. It's not only the food, it's also really that you go on daily walks, if possible, or exercise. It's that you sleep enough and you sleep deep enough, that the quality of sleep is also good. The room needs to be really dark. And another thing that we often forget is our breathing. What we really need most in life is, next to water, air, because our whole energy production depends on oxygen. And if we don't breathe deeply enough, our energy production goes down, and we compensate by eating more. So monitor your breathing. If you really breathe deep in your belly, or you're like flat breathing, what many, exactly like many people do, but when you laugh, you breathe properly. That's why there's such a stress on pranayama, actually, in Ayurveda and yoga traditions. It's the basis of our health to breathe properly. However, there are a few really very, very essential, simple things you need to consider. So again, B12. You need to supplement B12. It is not enough in your food. There's a little bit in milk products, but after the age of 50, it's not enough. Even the opposite is true. You need more B12 to digest them. It's not in any other food, even if there are claims that they are here and there. You need a secure source of B12, which is a supplement. You need vitamin D. It's also not enough in food. If at all, take a secure source, which is a supplement. You need iodine. You can take some seaweed for that. You need omega-3 fatty acids, which are in flaxseed, in chia seeds, in hemp, in walnuts. And you need enough of that. Like 2 tablespoons of freshly ground flaxseed would be more than enough, or 1 handful of walnuts. You take them daily. You replace other fats by it. You need that for your cardiovascular health and for your brain. For your brain, after the age of 60 or 70, you may look into a supplement with DHA oil from algae. Otherwise, normally at a younger age, you don't really need it. Well, and avoid all that fried stuff, too much sugar, too much dairy or milk products. And Prabhupada's advice to eat as much as you can digest is really pretty accurate. As soon as you start depositing your food, that means that you grow a little fat at your belly, you start to deposit and you don't digest your food anymore. And then at that point you should start, making sure you reduce the things that are so deliciously addictive, like paneer and sandesh.
Now, you mentioned vitamin D. I thought we get enough from sunshine.
Theoretically, you get enough from the sunshine if you expose your body during noontime. The skin makes vitamin D, so there's no problem if you're in India with half naked. But usually I've seen that people who are really in the sun avoid the sun because they get too much sun, and the other guys are usually staying inside of the place and they don't even get or make enough vitamin D in the summer, what to speak of the winter. So usually in the summer you need around 1,000 to 2,000 units depending on your sun exposure, and in the winter around 2,000 to 4,000. And most devotees you measure, they're very low. They need to upload their vitamin D, and they're usually very low on B12. They need to upload the B12, and there they need much higher dosages for the interim until they reached normal levels.
Could you mention something about the differences in pigmentation? In
Oh,
other words,
yeah,
the
that's,
races, as far as absorption from the sun of
Thank you
vitamin
for
D?
reminding me. That's a really important point. The darker you are, the less vitamin D your skin makes. So the fairer you are, the less sun exposure you need. So vitamin D is made when your skin is getting a little red. And by the way, it's destroyed in the afternoon sun. Use the noon sun or
Morning sun, as
morning.
Prabhupada said.
Yeah, morning sun is not strong enough. It's good. It doesn't destroy vitamin D, but the strongest is the noon sun if you don't have much time really.
And that's when Prabhupada took his massage.
At noon
Around
time.
11 o'clock to 12 o'clock.
Best time, yeah. Yeah, he was sitting actually outside in the sun. Well, he felt it. He was a very sensitive person, obviously. On massaging is also extremely good for detoxification and for so many aspects, for relaxation. He did a lot of things that were very healthy. I mean, he ate sandesh, but he didn't feast on it. He took one bite. So if you're able to take one bite of sandesh like Prabhupada, you're fine. Just pass it on to the next one.
Could you tell us the story of when Prabhupada started taking his walks and exercising?
Oh yeah, that's a very interesting story actually. I heard that from somebody who was really there. Prabhupada that was his second stroke in 26 2nd Avenue. And a Jewish doctor was called, an old Jewish doctor.
On Sunday?
Yeah, on a Sunday, yeah. He came there and he walked through these sitting devotees mumbling the Maha Mantra and was quite shocked. So he went right to Prabhupada and said, you need to exercise more. Just that sitting around here, that's not good. That was his main recommendation. And as we know now from diabetes research, that exercise is the best thing Prabhupada could do at that time with the medication available because it reduces insulin-resistant diabetes. And that saved his life. From then on, he didn't have strokes anymore because he went on that very fast, brisk morning walks. So his diabetes got better, his stroke stopped, and he did something very, very important, yeah.
Yeah, I remember going on morning walks with Prabhupada, and I, as a young person at that time, could not keep up with Prabhupada. I had to run after Prabhupada. He was doing such an aerobic walk.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Of course, I also took advantage of going to his footprints and eating the sand that was in his footprints.
How did it taste?
Ecstatic.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't do that too much with all these dogs passing through, but in Prabhupada's case it's worth considering. But
No,
I want to mention it's not a source of B12.
But it's a source of spiritual ecstasy, eating the foot dust.
Also, dirt, organic dirt, is not a sufficient source of B12 and all the other things. There may be B12 in cow dung and all these things, but please take a supplement. That's the only secure source of B12.
But if Prabhupada steps there, eat it.
Yeah.
You get Krishna consciousness, pure devotional service by eating the foot dust of a pure devotee.
You had to say that now.
Yes.